Hello guys, we are back on that spiritual podcast. We have gone from 2 to 3.
Yeah, so as I said, we're like family now. For those of
Yay.
you who can't see because it's not on YouTube yet, we have Atlas in the room. So if you hear what was she saying?
Spitting, dribbling, crying, it's just my baby.
Or it might be us.
It could be
You
us.
never know.
We've been not absent, we're so here, but we've been a bit far away from our podcast for a while. Obviously, I was busy birthing a child. We've had a lot going on with the retrogrades and a few spanners in the works. Life has thrown, what do we call it, hurdles or massive hay bales for us to try and skip over.
I don't know. I think we got bent over the table without being bought from the first. So we are back and we're ready to roll. And we thought, you know what, the thing that's sort of held us back, apart from Phoebe's having a baby, which is great news, is these retrogrades have been challenging. Positive in a million ways, but challenging. I'm trying to use positive and challenging, not good and bad, right?
Not good and bad, fuckery and high moments.
So we thought we'd come and we give a quick explanation of each of the retrogrades. We're not delving deep into astrology. I'm not an astrologer, neither are you.
I'm absolutely not.
But we're both interested and we both follow it to a level.
Yeah.
And I think it's useful to know. If you hear this and think, oh, it's nonsense, that's fine, right? That's so fine. But this has been studied for thousands of years. So what if you stayed open-minded and curious and thought maybe there's something in it? Because astrology isn't just, oh, my sun sign is Virgo.
Yeah.
It's about there's multiple planets causing different interactions with you and this world. And where they are in relation to you obviously matters, and I can't drill down to that level, but what they're doing in and of themselves is pivotal for me. I find it really helpful. First word, retrograde.
Retrograde.
So when you hear it, people panic, don't they? They're like,
oh no, my life's going to get to shit. We're in retrograde again. It's not always the case. However, I think the last few retrogrades for us have, been wild.
I'm sure there's a benefit that I'm yet to see of the last retrograde set. So what is it? So a retrograde, the planets don't actually go backwards. That's not scientifically possible, but the Earth doesn't spin straight on its axis, it spins wonky. So from where we are on Earth, it appears in the sky that the planet's moving backwards. That's all a retrograde is. Okay, and we understand the things that happen around us, like energy and the planets and the weather. We were talking about which weather at the moment. All of that has an impact to a degree. Should it be directing your entire life? Absolutely fucking not.
No.
If you are sitting there going, well, the planets say no, so I can't, right? That's a problem.
I will not do this today.
However, using energy that works for you is good. Yeah. So if you can do a spell on a Tuesday because it's a Mars day, that's great. That's helpful. If you know that the energy of Saturn return right now, or retrograde, sorry, not return, that's a whole different story. Saturn retrograde is that, it's like the father figure in the sky looking at you going, not like that, dummy.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do it properly or not do it at all.
Yeah.
Or I'll take all your toys away.
Yeah.
So, if you're trying to blag it or wing it, as is quite often our way,
always,
the universe is like, no, I don't think I'm going to let you at the moment. So let's talk through them, right? And you can say if you've seen it in your life.
Yeah.
I've written notes. It's very exciting.
We have guys. We're all the information today.
Saturn retrograde was started in June, finishes on November the 4th.
Lovely.
So it offers a unique opportunity. Saturn is karma, the taskmaster, like daddy energy. I call him Sky Daddy, which is probably not very... Sky Daddy, stop bending me over. Bad times. So during this period, you might find it easier to reassess your long-term goals, responsibilities, and commitments. You might also find that things that you were really connected to are not for you.
Absolutely.
And we often don't want to see that.
No, we can live so focused sometimes on what we think our end goal is, when in reality our end goal can shift and transform and change multiple times, like all the time. So with Saturn and the retrograde, for me, I found like my whole way of working has changed. What I thought I would be like with this new motherhood, with old Atlas. is so different. My kind of what things I want to achieve are different. The things that are priority to me are different. I think that's what people, it's like a reevaluation of stuff, isn't it?
Well, they say with retrogrades, it starts with revise, revisit,
reevaluate.
So Saturn is all about, so if you're using this to try and drive forward with everything that you've always done, you may find that you're coming up against hurdles, blocks. It might be stopping you, because if the foundations aren't secure of your plan, that's Saturn's area. It's like, right, okay, that's not secure. You've not got a solid base here. You need to go back, go back,
shift this up,
reevaluate your ambitions. But actually, to use it for a positive, if you do that, you can create those firm foundations, and you'll find you'll have a platform to bounce from. So if you find areas of your life that are being impacted in that way, and it will relate to you, like Phoebe's just said, with the mother she was going to be versus the mother and the worker she is. For me, it's been very much about like the people around me. Different flavors, same thing, right? So that's Saturn. Uranus, I have to say it like that because I get the giggles if I say it the other way.
Uranus!
I'm such a child.
How immature a way.
I'm so sorry, guys. So I'm suddenly American. It's Uranus. So that I don't giggle partway through. You're welcome. So this is a really positive planet, generally. It's about like opportunities, like doing things outside the box, creative thinking. It's quite hit and miss whether that's useful to you. I'm just reading like unexpected disruptions, instability, all of these things, sudden shifts that you just didn't see coming. All of that is in Uranus territory. And that can really make our security and our stability feel unsure. Absolutely.
And we really, when that is a thing, you don't realize how much you depended on your stability and security until it's taken away from planets doing stupid things, which are also beautiful things, but I don't call them stupid. But it leaves you feeling quite vulnerable. And when you're in a space of reevaluating your life because of Saturn, and then you feel vulnerable, you can end up feeling it almost makes you in a space of lost, and you're not lost at all. No. It's a reevaluation, a rediscovery.
And this is just 2 of 5 that we're experiencing right now.
We're in a lot of retrogrades.
So Uranus is in Taurus, which is quite stable, quite grounded, but it's actually like the planet of rebellion almost. Like, no, what about this? What about that? So actually that goes on from August the 28th to January the 27th, 2024.
Blimey.
Because these are outer planets, they move slower, so they retrograde slower. And the opportunity here is to stay open-minded, because actually if you stay in flow with both of these, they will redirect you to a better place. But we get very committed to the place that we already are. We don't necessarily like it.
We do. We do. We just get set on an idea, don't we? And then if we're nudged, we're like, well, that wasn't part of it.
No, I don't think so. Sorry. Yeah, I do. I do think so, actually.
In January, I wrote my business plan, and that wasn't on the business plan, so just stop.
Absolutely not.
Surrender.
Go with the flow. Neptune retrograde I actually really like. Neptune is the planet of illusion, spirituality. It's all the stuff that we actually like normally. But Neptune comes with these lovely rose-tinted glasses. I've met Pisces. It's the ruling planet of Pisces. And they're like, oh, I'm really hopeful. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And then suddenly if you see a Pisces term, not judging your people, love your people.
My son's Pisces.
But suddenly it's like, oh my God, it's a dark side.
Oh my gosh.
We're so amenable, we're in flow, everything's great. Not like that.
No, exactly.
So I like Neptune retrograde because actually those rose-tinted glasses that we tend to don come off. So the normal flow of Neptune is like, it's going to be great, it's going to be great. And when we go into a retrograde with it, it's like, oh no, that doesn't look right at all. I actually find it a really useful retrograde.
100%. I think it can bring out a lot as well when you look at how if you are practicing in spirituality, it can call you out on any bullshit or any ego part that may be fully, and I mean, we love ego, it's important, but it can really call you out on your own bullshit within your spirituality beliefs, can't it?
Absolutely. And you know what? Having clarity without that illusion is really helpful.
Clear.
It actually clears your path rather than causes a problem. So I'm a big fan of Neptune retrograde. Did I say when that goes? That goes on till December the 6th. That started on June the 30th. Pluto retrograde, not such a fan of this one. This one and Saturn have not done me well. I'm a little bit tender about it all, a little bit traumatized. So Pluto is transformation. It's going to the depths. It's one of the rulers of Scorpio.
Yeah.
It's all about, like, if you look at it in the god term, like it's god of the underworld, it's Hades energy. So it's about your deep dark, going into your deep dark to transform. And the retrograde is exactly that. It's about review, revisit, revise. So going into the depths of you. Where have you provided that illusion with the Neptune retrograde? Pluto's actually really supporting it as going, actually, you've joked to yourself, haven't you? So what sort of delusion is this? It deals with our psyche, our self-discovery. It deals with our inner healing, our shadow that we don't necessarily like seeing, the shadow of others. Becomes like quite pivotal, and the universe is just saying, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And you're like, I didn't want to see that.
No, keep everything nice, everyone's good.
You know, some of the downsides of this are struggles, obsession, like arguments where you try and hold your ground and they try and hold their ground, and everybody's like, I'm right, I know I'm right, I feel it in my bones. And you're like, but you can see a different side to them. There's not really a meeting point in the middle with a Pluto retrograde. I find it really emotionally draining. This one.
On top of all the other retrogrades.
Absolutely.
Exhausted.
And I'm like, right, okay, what it actually does is encourage you to see where you need to shed old patterns that are no longer serving your soul, old relationships where it's no longer serving your soul. But these are deep parts of our energy that we don't necessarily want to question, right? It's uncomfortable. It's not like, oh, did you see, you know, Polly is not as lovely as she once was. I don't know where Polly came from. Hi, Polly. And you're like, no, I didn't see, actually. She's really, really depleting my energy, taking from me. She's kidded me. I've believed her when she told me her stories. I thought that she needed help and I've been helping, but actually I feel like I've been taken for a ride now. And that can come up in all your relationships, friendships, family, romantic, all of them. It's like almost like, did you see? Did you see? And you're like, oh God.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it's not nice, is it, to where you've had relationships that you've really fully invested yourself in, to then see that perhaps you've been over giving. Do you know what I mean?
It's not like a nice one where it's like, there's a school mum, you shouldn't speak to her anymore.
No.
She's got different views from you. It tends to be your deeper, darker stuff, because it's Pluto, it's the underworld, it's the realms of your deepest, darkest. And it has like obsession attached and all of that sexy stuff, which is great until you start questioning it. I love that for me. So to try and use it in a positive way, actually what it's for is our self-discovery and healing.
And alignment as well. It's bringing you in alignment with who is meant to be on your path. And also, I'm not saying go break up with all your mates, but you know, I'm just gonna be by myself now, but it's allowing you that chance to reevaluate again where you're putting your energy. You know, you can still be friends with these people, but just being mindful of how much you're overgiving, or you know, where you're not being respected and things like that. It brings you boundaries, doesn't it? You're getting
you are the people you hang around with.
Well,
this is not new news.
No,
and
it's like
so
the mouldy apple thing, isn't it? If you have a mouldy apple next to a nice, beautiful apple,
it'll impact the whole fruit bowl.
The whole fruit bowl's fucked.
Knackered. So, you know, question where you are, how much time you're spending with people that don't no longer feel in alignment. For the purpose of self-discovery and healing, not for the darker side of this energy, which is blame, pushing it on somebody else. You did so and so, that's upset me. I'm a no now.
Own your triggers, guys.
You can't influence anybody else. You can only influence yourself. Pluto is about your healing, your movement forward. And straight up, not having a good time. That's going on until October the 10th. So that started on May the 1st. It started in Aquarius. It's moved back to Capricorn. So there's a lot of earth energy hitting these retrogrades. It's either earth or Pisces. Which is having an impact. And the last one that's still going is the newest one to go. That's Jupiter retrograde from the 4th of September through to the 30th of December.
Long time.
And Jupiter it's a planet of luck and abundance. And when it goes backwards, suddenly you start to see what could feel a bit off there. you don't feel so lucky. But luck can be good and bad. People always get this confused. You can have bad luck and good luck.
Yeah.
And, you know, actually, it's always the universe trying to tell you things. So when it goes backwards, it doesn't necessarily mean it's unlucky. It means that you're not as in flow as you once felt. And things where you do something and things would fall into place ahead of you and you'd be like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
That's Jupiter energy leading you there. Going, okay, you know, you've got this. You've got this. I'm going to open a few doors for you ahead of the game here. Now it feels a bit more of a trudge, a bit more of a resistance, and it's encouraging us to focus inward, and do the inner world work, not to the depths that Pluto goes, but Jupiter and Pluto are working in alignment here almost for me, I feel, to say, you know, what have you missed? Where can you create your luck? Where can you create your abundance? And that's financial as well as emotional. Anything, and life. You know, abundance doesn't just mean gold coin, guys. It can mean, you know, that you get lucky with the people you meet and they connect you to other people who are useful for you or beneficial for you, or you feel like you've clicked with them, like they're your tribe. All of that comes under Jupiter for me.
And you're kind of given a bit of a kick up the arse. So this whole, like, we as spiritually people love a manifestation. We love this. And we're like, everything falls into place. Everything's mine. What's meant for me will be mine. It kind of then puts you more into a, well, you do also need to do some work. You can't just sit here and be like, well, I've got my amethyst in my bra and the moon is doing this. So therefore, what will be will be. You have to do some stuff to get it. You can't just sit there and wait.
Absolutely. So those are the retrogrades that are happening at the moment. We did have Mercury and Venus, but they start now.
Thanks God.
Let me tell you a story about a laptop another time. So yeah, those ones have been messing with me quite badly. I've had a bad summer. It was bad. We're out of that now, and so we will talk about other retrogrades at other times because we don't want to overload you. So highlights version. Oh, the light just changed in here.
I love that for the highlights.
Highlights version is, you know, if you feel like your people are kind of a bit off now, perhaps they are. It's not that you should ditch everybody and start again. It's just that you need to reevaluate and integrate things into your life. Where you once were might not be where you are today, and you might have fought to cling on to that. Don't need to. Let it go. You could move away from that. It doesn't mean completely ditch it. It means do things that are more in alignment. Review, revisit, revise. The areas of your life that are being hit up is your inner healing, the way your foundations of your life is set up, how you attract your luck and abundance, how you deal with your deep inner work, and what was the other one? I've forgotten. Saturn, Neptune. Of your spirituality. You know, and that doesn't mean, you know, you're going to have to zen out all the time and be a Buddhist now. It means, do you have a plan for this? Because actually, if you get upset, the opportunity to flip to your dark side really prevalent, and you don't want that. So, you know, how are you going to move through this world with ease and flow?
Absolutely. And my final encouragement would be, when you're having these times where everything is going wrong, things feel weird, friendships are falling, you know, just things are off. Do look into what is going on with the planets, because I'm not saying it makes it better, because it's still happening, but it does give you a tiny bit of like sanity where you're like, do you know what, it's okay, this is just for now.
Makes it make sense.
Makes it make sense. And that can be reassuring. Like, I think we need that sometimes, especially when we feel, like we said, lost or, you know, completely thrown out. You need that kind of reassurance.
Absolutely. So to conclude, a couple of other things unrelated to this, but Mabon autumn equinox is on Saturday. I will share on the group on the Facebook and Insta pages my Mabon write-up if you want to use that. If you want to work with the energy, because we've been talking about planets, but that's energy that existing, taking us into the autumn phase, time to go inward, self-reflection, time to look at how we function in this world rather than being a go time. And at the end of October, I'm going to just drop it here. If there's any interest, message me directly. It's Marty, by the way. I hope you can recognize that voice. But I've got a introduction to witchcraft course coming up. Which I will talk more about on the next podcast next month. But this is, if you're interested in that journey, I am unleashing.
We love the witchy stuff.
So yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. It's been good to talk to you. And like Marty said, we will be back with many more podcasts on many, many amazing, interesting topics.
Yeah. See you when we see you and how we see you.
Bye.
Bye.